When my neighbors deforested their lawn this past summer, I ended up with a huge piece of white oak, about 30 inches in diameter, much too large for the 18-inch capacity of my Alaskan mill. However, with the edging mill, I was able to make it work. I started by removing some of the protuberances. Incidentally, the text on the log was meant as an indication for the tree service to leave the log, but when placed in front of my house, ended up looking like I was preparing for the zombie apocalypse. I started with the cut using my starter rails, which I had to finish off freehand due to the width of the log. I then affixed the guide rail for the edging mill and got to work. I will end up processing this offcut at a later date, maybe for a tabletop. I then repeated the process on the other side of the log. And the beautiful grain in this log began to really reveal itself. I was now left with an 18-inch wide cant that, theoretically, I could just run my mill across. I started with a 16-quarter cut, which again I had to finish off freehand. I then went to a 6-inch thick cut. The resulting pieces were quite heavy, so I brought in the crane bow to help me move things around. I found that my cant was just a bit too wide, so I flipped the log and cut a 4/4 piece off just to narrow it down a bit, and then flipped it back. And cut some more 6-inch thick pieces. For this last piece, which was a little bit smaller, I employed my pallet jack, which I got at an auction for next to nothing, and then managed to manhandle up onto the stand myself. I ganged up the thicker pieces on the sawhorses and cut them as one. My ultimate goal is for 6x6 beams, likely for structural purposes. With that, I ended up with a large number of 6x6 and 5x5 beams, which I then stacked up to dry. I've already started using some of them, milling them on the jointer and planer, and using them as structural members for a loft in my shed.